Hello and welcome to the first ever Learn to Play Violin with Me video. Before we get to our first lesson, here's a quick backstory about why I'm making these videos and what our journey will look like. I am a certified music teacher with my bachelor's and master's in music education K-12. I'm also a piano player by trade, having played for the last 30 plus years, and I also play clarinet all throughout school. When I was getting my teaching degree, I had to learn how to play all of the band and orchestra instruments, but we only had time to learn them on a very surface level, just pretty much the basics in case we get a job where we had to teach them. So, as far as my prior knowledge of violin goes, I've had a very brief instruction on it, almost 20 years ago. And since I haven't used that knowledge since then, I'd say I'm just as much of a beginner as you can be on the instrument itself. Throughout this process, I will have to Google a lot of things. I've always wanted to learn to play a string instrument, and I'm also fascinated by the practice process of learning a new skill, and a huge believer that the secret to learning any new skill isn't a secret at all. It's all about consistent, focused repetition, aka practicing. So I thought I'd combine these two things and put my beliefs about consistent practice being the key up to the test to teach myself how to play the violin. I'll essentially be playing both the role of student, since I don't know how to play the violin, and the role of teacher, since I do have knowledge of reading music. I know a bit about how string instruments work from my experience in music ed, and I've spent years of my life learning efficient practice techniques. And I would love it if you'd learn along with me. The book I'll be using is the Essential Elements for Strings Violin Book 1. I will put screenshots of the pages up so you can see what I'm reading from, but if you want to learn along with me, it's best for you to grab your own copy at your local music store. These videos will be nothing fancy. You will literally be watching me practice and practicing along with me. During this process, we will be learning everything together, starting with tuning. Let's get started. Welcome to lesson number 1. Each lesson will be no more than 15 minutes. I'm a big believer in doing small chunks of time more consistently over spending a ton of time on something just every once in a while for efficient learning and practicing techniques. So that's what we're going to do. I have a timer here on my computer to make sure we don't go over 15 minutes. So I'm going to start that now. All right. First, let's tune the violin. You have your violin here. We're going to lay it on our lap, just like this. The string, it's going to be facing to the left, so the scroll is facing to your left. The string that is closest to your body is the lowest note. It's a G. Then the next string should be a D. Next string is A. And the highest string, the one furthest away from your body, is E. We need to make sure that the pitches sound the same as each other so that they're tuned properly. These are called tuning pegs, and when you turn the tuning pegs, it either tightens the string or loosens the string. If the string is tightened, the pitch goes higher. If the string is loosened, the pitch goes lower. So let's tune. Online, there are lots of great tuners. You can just Google violin tuner. So I Googled one called Free Online Violin Tuner, and it will let you tap on the pitch, and then you can match it when you tune. So it should match what's on here. If I'm going to play my G, that's what my G sounds like. Let's see if it matches. Nope, sure doesn't. My pitch is lower than the one on the computer, so I need to tighten the string. Now, tuning pegs are really, really sensitive, so you can snap a string very easily by over-tightening. So you want to make sure that you just go a little bit at a time, and you want to press in while you turn. Turning away from you is going to tighten the string. Only a little bit at a time. You're going to see that a little bit goes a long way. So I am going to play this note. So what I'm going to do is play this G. Then I'm going to play my string. And I'm going to tighten really carefully, tighten the tuning peg until these two pitches match. See how they now match? Hopefully you can hear that. Now, oh, it went down again. So you have to make sure you push in. There we go. All right. Next is D. Do the same thing. So my pitch again is lower than it should be. So I am going to push in and pull a little bit tighter. There we go. Now it matches. We have A. Same thing. Still flat. Mine is flat, which means it's lower than the pitch on the computer. So I need to tighten this one. Okay, so I rest the violin with the strings facing me so that I can tighten with my hand and play the A. Push in, and I'm going to tighten. There we go. And then E, the last string. It's flat, which means it's lower, which means I need to tighten. Okay, now my violin is in tune. If you need to pause the video here so that you can get your violin in tune, no matter how long it takes you, that's totally fine. Also, if you're playing a new instrument, sometimes it takes the tuning pegs a while and the strings a while to kind of settle in to where they're supposed to be. So don't be surprised if your instrument goes out of tune pretty regularly. You want to make it a habit to tune before every single lesson, just to make sure that all the notes sound how they should. I'm going to check this D one more time, G one more time. Yep. I just got new strings put on this violin, so my strings might go out of tune pretty frequently until they kind of settle in and stretch out and hold their tune longer. So you'll just have to bear with me for that. All right, now let's go to the book. See how we're doing on time here. All right, great. Okay, 10 minutes left. All right, so we open up the book, and on page 2, you'll see the different parts of the violin. I'm sure they'll be mentioned throughout the book, so we know that it's there. Page number 3, holding your instrument. It says the best way to learn your instrument is to practice one skill at a time. Repeat each step until you're comfortable demonstrating it for your teacher, that's me, and classmates, that's also me. Many violins begin by playing their instrument in guitar position. So on the page, there's guitar position steps and shoulder position steps. We're going to start on guitar position because the first couple of pages I looked ahead, they have us using the violin in guitar position, so that's what we're going to start with. Step number 1, place the instrument case flat on the floor, whoops, with the handle facing you. Okay, whoops, it's already off base here. Open the case and lift the instrument up by the neck. That I can do. All right, so we're lifting the instrument up by the neck. This is the neck here. Identify all the parts of the violin. You can do that looking at page 2 or online. You can Google different parts of a violin. It'll show you a diagram. Step number 2, cradle the violin under your right arm. Raise the scroll, that's this part here, to shoulder height. So the scroll should be facing your left, right? So the neck and the scroll are going towards your left. Raise the scroll to shoulder height. Be sure the back of the violin is flat against your stomach. Good. All right, so in guitar position, you want the strings facing out. Identify the letter names of each string, G, D, A, and E. All right, when we're looking at the violin like this, G, which is the closest one to your chin here, that's the lowest note. So G, then we have D, then A, then E. My G went a little flat again, so I'm just going to adjust it really. There we go. Step number 4, raise your right thumb over the strings while continuing to hold the instrument. So with your left hand, you're going to hold it by the neck here. Make sure that your fingers are not touching these strings at all because that stops the vibration, and the vibration is what allows the strings to make a sound. So make sure that you're kind of holding it here on either side of the strings, but not covering the strings itself. Continue to hold the instrument. Pluck the strings as directed by your teacher. Hey, that's me. So you're going to take your right thumb and you're gonna, I hold, I play the ukulele a little bit, and I always hold here, kind of put my fingers at the bottom here. So this is kind of similar if you play guitar or ukulele. How you're holding it now is similar to pretty much the same as how you hold guitar or ukulele. So you are going to take your right thumb and you're going to strum G. Whoops. I am a beginner. G, D, A, E. All right, let's try to strum G 4 times, okay? Ready? Ready, go. G, 2, 3, 4. Good. Let's try D 4 times. That's the next string going down. Ready, play. D, 2, 3, 4. Next is A 4 times. Ready, play. A, 2, 3, 4. And E is 4 times. Ready, play. E, 2, 3, 4. It says plucking the strings is called pizzicato and is abbreviated in the book P-I-Z-Z period. So now we are going to turn the page and we are going to learn our first song. So exciting. All right. My G string, the lowest one, keeps going out of tune. So let me just try that. Let me just fix that really quick. It will get better, I promise. These being new strings, it'll take a little bit. But I wanted you to see every single part of the practice process, so that's why I'm leaving it in. All right, here we go. Number 2, it says, let's play open D. So if you look at it, you see 3 quarter notes followed by a squiggly line there. That's called a quarter rest. Then you see 3 quarter notes followed by a quarter rest, then 4 quarter notes in that measure, 3 quarter notes, and then a quarter rest. So at the top of page 4, it shows you what each of those are. If you're not familiar with what quarter notes, quarter rests, a measure, if you're not familiar with that stuff, check it out. I'll be using those words all the time. So even if you're not 100% sure, just come along with me and I'm sure you'll pick up on it really soon. So each quarter note, so it's colored in except it has the letter of the note written in, which is D. We're playing D, so that's why it's not a solid colored circle for the quarter notes. So each one gets 1 beat, right? So we are looking at measures that have 4 beats in them. So counting to 4 over and over again, it would sound like this: ta, 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 rest. That's what the first measure would sound like. When I play it, it sounds like this. Just like that. So if we're playing D, that's the second string going down. All right. When I play this line, it will sound like this. Here we go. So you can either watch or try along with me. It says pizzicato, pluck the strings, and that 0 over the first D quarter note means that it's an open string, which means we are not going to be pushing down on the strings anywhere. They're just open. Okay, so you're essentially, your left hand is open. Your right hand's doing all the work. All right, number 2 sounds like this. Ready, 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. All right, let's try that together. Here we go. Ready, play. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. Good. If you want extra practice on any of this stuff, just pause the video at any time and practice, and then we'll move on together. All right, let's look at number 3. Let's play open A. So we have G, D, and A. So A is the 3rd string going down. So we are going to play this one. And if I look at it, just kind of reading all the notes it says around it, it's pizzicato. It says keep a steady beat. So a steady beat is like the pulse of the music. So you want to make sure that you're not playing some of them fast, some of them slow, but you're playing it very steady like that. All right, so it looks like it's the same rhythm, the exact same rhythm as number 2, just on the A string. So let's try it together. Here we go. Ready? We're on number 3. Let's play open A. Ready, play. 1, 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, rest. Good. And I probably should have said this earlier, but you want to kind of play right here in this like open space here. You don't want to be playing all the way up here. You don't want to be playing right here on the bridge. Don't really touch the bridge. You just want to be playing right around in this area. All right, let's try number 3 again. Let's play open A. Here we go. Ready, play. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, rest. Good. Let's move on to number 4. If we look at it, it is quarter notes and quarter rests. So we've already been, no new notes are introduced. And we have D, which is that second string going down, and A, which is the third string going down. So it looks like we're alternating between those two. One piece of advice that I would give, that I'm going to give to myself too, is I'm going to try really hard not to look down and only watch my thumb when I'm playing, because that interrupts you looking for the music, searching from the music to your hands to the music to your hands. And it can really hinder you learning how to play things to a steady beat, because when you're looking up and down, you can get lost and kind of confused. So try to learn as best you can. And I'm taking this advice for myself too. I'm going to try to learn as best as I can by not looking really minimally, and learning more by ear. So if I'm playing a different note than I should be, kind of learning to recognize that by what I'm hearing as opposed to what I'm seeing, just so I can keep my eyes on the music as much as possible. All right, let's try number 4. Choose a team, starting on the D string. Ready, play. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. All right, let's try that again. Starting on the D string. Here we go. Ready, play. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. Oh, there's our timer. Okay, that's a great place to stop for today. Join me on my next lesson. So we got to page 4 through number 4. So next lesson we'll start with a review, and then we'll move on from there. Thank you so much. See you next time.